Hello, my name's Ed Frawley. I own Leerburg with my wife. This is a question that came in through our Ask Cindy portal on the front of Leerburg.com, and I say it at the beginning of every one of these videos we do, and that is you don't have to be a customer of Leerburg to go to the Ask Cindy and ask a question on obedience, on healthcare, on breeding, to ask us a question. We're going to answer it if we can. We found that if we do things like that and we help people with their dog problems, they end up becoming customers. But we enjoy doing it too, because why does somebody produce training videos on dogs for 40-some years like I have if you didn't have an interest in helping people learn how to live with and train their dogs? So this is a good question because it's a person that has a German Shepherd, a younger German Shepherd, which I bred for 35 years with the goal of producing police service dogs, law enforcement dogs, or competition dogs. They have a question on a young dog that's real whiny when they're out for walks and they meet people. I'll answer, first I'll read the question as it came in, and then we'll give you some ideas on what you can do. I just had a question or two about my pup. He's a 15-month-old, fully intact German Shepherd. Right off the bat, I give this person a lot of credit for saying they have a 15-month-old puppy. A lot of people think that a puppy is an 8-week to 10-week-old experience, and it's not. Especially in German Shepherds. They really don't reach maturity until they're probably 24 months old, maybe as old as 3 years old. Back to her. He's obedience trained. We work him multiple times throughout the day with activities such as fetch, walking, swimming, puzzles, etc. We are a very active family and want our dog to get used to going to places. I've noticed more recently that he gets super whiny when my friends or my family are nearby when he's on leash. I tell them to ignore him, and I don't want to reinforce that behavior. And if he calms down, then he can get to go meet them and get some attention. If he's whiny, I will give him commands such as sit or down. He complies, but he continues to whine a bit. It's like he wants to get to them to get attention from them. He also gets whiny at new places. My son plays baseball, and we have been bringing him to his games, keeping our distance from others, and it seems he's much better and less whiny when we do that. I don't allow strangers to pet him. Good idea. Excellent idea. We also reward him with treats when he's calm and it's appropriate. His trainer mentioned it may be anxiety that's causing the whining, but also mentioned that German Shepherds are whiny in general. Some are. I'm a little defensive about that statement, considering how many German Shepherds I bred in 35 years. But, he's probably true. Does it sound like I'm on the right track with continuing positive reinforcement? Do you have any other suggestions or insight? Thank you very much. Well, there are good questions, and we certainly see this more in younger dogs. One of the things that we would do is we don't let our dogs meet and greet other people. I don't care if they even know the other person when they're young like this. There's no need for you to let your dog go up and meet and greet other people. You know, there's the old confusing thing about how to socialize your dog, and so many people, the majority of people, trainers included, and for sure veterinarians, say, oh, take your dog out to meet and greet people in new places. Dead wrong. What we want our dogs to do when we socialize our dogs, and quite frankly, this is kind of a socializing question, what we want our dogs to do is to go out and feel comfortable being in new locations where there are other people, We want them to feel comfortable wherever we take them. And that does not mean going and meeting and greeting other people. We want our dogs to ignore people. We want our dogs to look at another person as a tree stump, for all that matters. Because we don't know for sure what's going on in our dog's head at that moment in time. And we don't want to have an accident. We don't know if something's going to happen that's going to trigger that dog frustration that could cause a problem. I'll just use that word, cause a problem. So let me go on and talk about what Cindy has to say. If you take away the greeting on leash, the whining may quickly go away or be reduced. It's a form of anxiety and frustration. But Cindy goes on to say it's typical in German Shepherds. She's raising Artie right now, who's a German Shepherd and 2 years old. She should know, right? She does. This can definitely accelerate. Cindy's saying this can definitely accelerate if he accidentally releases the dog for whatever reason and something triggers it away from the whining and into a more aggressive issue. So keep that in the back of your mind too. She said, I have a young German Shepherd myself, Artie, and he shows this tendency that you're talking about. She said when she meets somebody, she asks for the dog to give her eye attention. That's what she calls it, eye contact, I'm sorry. Basically, she teaches Artie not when she's meeting and greeting other people, before she goes for a walk. And it's an easy thing to teach is eye contact. Just say, look. When the dog looks at you, you mark it. When you have eye-to-eye contact, you mark it. Give them high-value food reward. Dog's looking around, you say, look. Wait for him to look up at you. Yes, give him a food reward. Do it 20 times a day, 3 or 4 days in a row. And when you say, look, the dog's going to look at you unless it's really distracted, okay? Once the dog, let's say you're 2 weeks into doing this, and you're taking it out for a walk, and you're doing it 10, 15 times a day on your walk, not a day, on a walk. After a while, the look becomes a reflexive reaction to you saying, look. You say, look, and he looks at you. Give him a reward. Tell him he's doing a good job. But if you do that when somebody walks up to you and your dog sits, and you say, look, and he won't look at you, reset him. Lead him away, walk him in a little circle, take him over here, the person's over there, take him over here, look, he looks at you, yes, give him a food reward. So you don't need to correct them for not giving a food reward, even though a little tap on the leash, a week into doing this several times a day, 15 times each on a walk, he's going to know what look is in a week, I'll guarantee you. And a little, hey, look. But even the hey, look may not be necessary. It may be too much for this dog. It may make him go into a little bit of avoidance. Just circle him around. Turn your back to that person. Look, he looks at you. You give him food reward. Mark it, yes, give him a food reward. It's important to remember the relationship between you and your dog. Here's the way I look at it. My relationship with my dog is way more important than somebody that's standing there that wants to talk to me. I don't care who they are, except for Cindy, or my kids, or my grandkids, or 1 or 2 other friends. Just kidding. But that's the truth. Stop and think about it. What's more important to you, your dog or some stranger? It's not a hard question to answer. So if you have a problem like that, and if the dog gets whiny, move him off and say, excuse me, I've got to take care of this with my dog. I can't let him whine like this. One of the things also you can do is if you have a dog that is really obsessed with its toys, find out what toy it likes the best. With us, with Artie, it's these foam balls that we have, and it's these round rings that we have. Lives and dies to play, because Cindy does it a couple of times a day with him, where he'll take them out and throw them, dog will bring it back. If you have a dog that's crazy for a ball or a toy like that, let the dog, you can do 2 things here. If you're going for a walk, a lot of time an toy-obsessed dog will carry the ball. It's like, or toy, it's like a pacifier for him. He's more interested in that than he is this stranger that comes walking up, okay? And if he doesn't want to carry it the whole way, keep it in the pocket, and when you're going to meet somebody, bring it out and give it to the dog. Let him hold it. Even if it's one of these foam balls that we have that are on little pieces of leather that our Amish guys make, you can just give it a little tug. Not a big tug of war, can just be a little tap, tap, tap. Keeps the dog interest, okay? Think of it in terms of the dog. You're not going to be out there yanking and cranking around and letting a 80-pound German Shepherd treat you like, I don't know what, jerk you all around. No, it just takes a little tap, tap, tap. And then he's thinking, oh, is he going to play with me? That's a good thing, and then you can answer the questions that the people have. So she said, we also bring Artie and the balls to the baseball games that we go and watch for our relatives. We have a nephew that plays a lot of baseball, and she'll stay away from the people, have her toy, have her little round puller-style toy, and it goes with her wherever she goes when she takes the dog out. So I think that answers the question here. There's a lot of things that go into it. It's not black and white that you do this, this, and this to solve this problem. It depends, again, and I say it in almost all these videos, it depends on that dog that's sitting right there in front of you. And you need to work with the dog and do what that dog needs to maintain your relationship with the dog. And by that, I don't mean you got to be the pack leader. No, I want to be his friend. I want to be his leader, but I want to be his buddy too. That's the way to look at it.